What happens when the spotlight fades and the shadows grow darker? At 73, Steven Seagal's life is no longer defined by triumph, but by complexity, controversy, and heartbreak. His journey from a frail asthmatic child to a martial arts sensation and Hollywood icon offers a glimpse into the fragile nature of fame. Once celebrated for his precision, calm intensity, and mysterious persona, Seagal's legacy now carries cautionary undertones. Behind the flash of success lay choices, myths, and alliances that would later cloud his public image. To understand the full story, we must trace the rise, the myth-making, and the eventual decline. Early struggles and martial arts beginnings. Steven Seagal was born in 1952 in Lansing, Michigan, before moving to Fullerton, California, as a young boy. Frail and prone to asthma, he turned challenges into determination, finding refuge in physical discipline. Martial arts became a sanctuary, offering both strength and focus. Unlike many peers drawn to karate or judo, Seagal gravitated toward Aikido, a less familiar discipline in the West. His teenage fascination with the art was transformative, shaping his approach to life and combat. Early lessons in patience, balance, and strategy would later distinguish him in both the dojo and the cinematic world, giving him an edge few could replicate. Breaking ground in Japan. By the early 1970s, Seagal embarked on a rare journey for an American martial artist, studying Aikido in Japan. His dedication and skill earned him the unprecedented achievement of running a dojo as a foreigner. Fluency in Japanese allowed him to connect deeply with the culture, gaining respect and legitimacy among practitioners. This period cemented his reputation as a serious martial artist, not just a Hollywood hopeful. The experience also instilled confidence, shaping both his philosophy and public persona. His early success abroad laid the foundation for a narrative of mastery and exoticism that would later captivate film audiences around the globe. The Hollywood leap transitioning to Hollywood was never guaranteed. Seagal's charm, discipline, and timing set him apart. Working as an instructor for wealthy clients and as a bodyguard for Hollywood figures, including agent Michael Oiz, he caught attention. Oiz, impressed by Seagal's aura and skill, encouraged him to step into film. That leap paid off spectacularly. His debut, Above the Law, 1988, introduced Nico Tassani, a former CIA operative turned cop. The film blended Eastern martial arts precision with brooding intensity, grossing $18.9 million in the U.S. and signaling the arrival of a new type of action star. Dominance on screen, Seagal's rise accelerated with Hard to Kill, 1990, Marked for Death, 1990, and Out for Justice, 1991. His characters were unstoppable, delivering justice through measured, efficient martial arts rather than sheer firepower. The pinnacle came with Under Siege, 1992, sharing the screen with Tommy Lee Jones and Gary Busey, earning $156 million worldwide. Audiences were captivated by his smooth, controlled combat and quiet intensity, a contrast to the bombastic heroes of his era. His film's success made him a recognizable face in theaters, magazines, and merchandise, suggesting the potential for a lasting Hollywood empire. The cost of control. Yet even at the peak, tensions brewed behind the scenes. Seagal's insistence on creative control and high demands sparked friction with directors and producers. While fans saw an untouchable hero, Insiders noticed a growing pattern of clashes. This tension hinted at challenges that would intensify as his career progressed. Seagal's public image as a disciplined, enigmatic fighter began to collide with the realities of Hollywood production, foreshadowing conflicts that could erode both relationships and opportunities. Fame, it seemed, came with a price far beyond the cameras and applause. Crafting the myth in Hollywood, image often outweighs talent, and Seagal excelled at creating a myth around himself. He blurred the line between actor and character, presenting himself as the embodiment of his heroic roles. Stories of intelligence work, training operatives, and exotic ancestry added mystique. Claims of Mongolian, Russian, or Native American heritage painted a worldly, enigmatic persona. While these tales enhanced his allure, they often lacked verification, making his growing legend both compelling and fragile. By weaving multiple identities into his public image, Seagal captivated audiences, but also set himself up for scrutiny when inconsistencies surfaced. A spiritual warrior persona. Seagal's approach to celebrity differed from many action stars. He eschewed hypermasculine excess in favor of a spiritual warrior image, discussing Buddhism, Eastern philosophy, and environmental issues. At one point, he declared himself a reincarnated tulku or lama in Tibetan Buddhism, a claim endorsed by a high-ranking teacher but questioned by scholars. His mysticism and philosophical leanings reinforced the contrast between him and muscular contemporaries like Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. By presenting himself as disciplined, ethical, and contemplative, Seagal offered audiences a novel type of hero who fought not just with fists, but with presence and principle. Controversies and the decline. The turn in Seagal's story came in the 2000s. Legal battles, political affiliations, and controversies began to overshadow his martial arts and cinematic contributions. The Me Too era and Hollywood's shifting cultural landscape further complicated his public image. While some hailed him as a rebel, others criticized his choices, alliances, and exaggerations of past exploits. The myth that once captivated fans now drew skepticism, with his credibility increasingly questioned. Health struggles and diminished relevance compounded the decline, demonstrating the fragile nature of fame and the consequences of decisions made under its pressure. Martial arts legacy. Despite controversy, Seagal's influence on martial arts endures. Aikido practitioners credit him with popularizing the discipline globally. His early films inspired students who might never have discovered the art otherwise. Even as Hollywood attention faded, Seagal contributed to martial arts culture indirectly, leaving a tangible impact on enthusiasts and future instructors. The contrast between cinematic success and real-world influence underscores the complexity of his legacy. His life illustrates that while fame is fleeting, meaningful contributions to culture and skill can outlast public perception, offering a quieter but enduring form of significance. Lessons in fame and fallibility. Seagal's story is a lesson in the fragility of fame. Once commanding audiences and industry respect, he experienced a dramatic shift into scrutiny, legal struggles, and cultural irrelevance. His carefully constructed image could not always withstand public and industry evaluation. The cost of ego, unverified claims, and refusal to adapt illustrates how quickly triumph can turn to struggle. Yet the shadows of his story are not entirely negative. They highlight the lingering influence and fascination with his persona. Fame, myth, and controversy intersected in ways both cautionary and compelling. Enduring cultural memory. Even in decline, Steven Seagal remains a cultural reference point. His films continue to be watched, his name sparks debate, and his story serves as a case study in celebrity, myth-making, and the cost of ambition. While admiration may be tempered by controversy, curiosity persists. The paradox of his legacy, a mixture of inspiration, fascination, and disappointment, underscores the complexities of public life. Seagal's journey reminds us that while stars may fade, the traces they leave in film, martial arts, and cultural memory endure, lingering in the spaces between admiration and critique. Reflections on a controversial life. Steven Seagal's story, his meteoric rise, crafted myth, and eventual decline, is both tragic and instructive. From the boy overcoming illness to a martial arts pioneer, Hollywood action star, and cultural enigma, his journey reflects ambition, charisma, and the fragility of reputation. He achieved feats many thought impossible, yet struggled to sustain them under scrutiny and shifting times. His life is a reminder that legacy is never guaranteed, and that behind every larger-than-life persona lies a human story, shaped by choices, pressures, and the inescapable passage of time. His shadowed fame continues to spark fascination.